Welcome back, friends. Let's talk about the Newton's law of motions. And in that series, we'll first of all talk about the Newton's first law of motion. Newton's first law of motion states that an object will remain at rest or in uniform motion in a straight line unless acted upon by some external force. What do I mean by that? So, for example, let's suppose there is a car, and this car is moving with the velocity of 100 kilometers per hour in the east direction. So this car will keep on moving at 100 kilometers per hour, 100 kilometers per hour for the endless period of time until or unless it is acted upon by some external force. So you're going to ask me a question, but that doesn't happen in the real life. If a car is moving with 100 kilometers per hour and if it runs out of the gas, so it will come to the rest condition. But so how does it is possible that if a car is moving with 100 kilometers per hour and it will keep on moving at 100 kilometers per hour for endless period of time until or unless it is acted upon by external force, although even if I'm not applying the brakes? So the reality is, why does it come to the rest is because there is force of friction with respect to the ground. That friction is kind of a slow brake which is trying to pull it in the opposite direction. That's why this car comes to the rest. But if I take the example, if this car is, let's say, moving in the space where there is no air and there is no friction, so this car, if it is moving in the east direction with 100 kilometers per hour, it will keep on moving in the east direction with the 100 kilometers per hour. So that is in accordance with the Newton's first law. Now let's go on to the Newton's second law. Let's see what the Newton's second law has to offer. It says the object will accelerate in the direction of force applied with force net. F net is equal to mass times acceleration. So this is more of a complete law. So F net is equal to mass times acceleration. So what do I mean by the complete law? Because the previous one, this one does not talk about any frictional forces, but this one, it talks about the frictional forces also. So the if I wanted to understand this law, I will again take the example of a car which is moving with 100 kilometers per hour, 100 kilometers per hour, and this car will keep on moving in the east. Let's say this is moving in the east direction, will keep on moving in the east direction with 100 kilometers an hour, but until or unless it is acted upon by external force. But in this case, what's happening, as I talked previously, that there is an external force which is acting on this one. That external force is force of friction. Now the Newton's second law says F net equal to ma, and then there is another equation for Newton's second law, which is F net is equal to sum of the rest of the forces. So what are the forces acting onto it? The forces acting onto this is a force which is a applied force. First of all, a force which is being applied in the forward direction. So I'm gonna call it as F applied, and then force of friction is trying to pull it in the opposite direction, plus force of friction, and then this is F net. So let's say if I'm applying a total force of let's say 1000 newtons, and then the opposite force of friction acting on this car is let's say 300 newton. So this will be, so 1000 minus 300, and the mass of the car, I'm gonna assume it is, let's say, 100 kgs. Just again, this is for the sake of the questions, just to make the calculations easy. In reality, a car is way more heavier than 100 kgs. So this is equal to mass times acceleration, and then acceleration value will be equal to, this is 100, so this is 700. So I'm gonna make some space here. Acceleration will come out to be 700 divided by 100, which comes out to be, acceleration is 7 meters per second square. So car will accelerate with 7 meters per second square in east direction. Or we can also say that the net force F net acting on the car is equal to 700 newtons. So we can conclude two things. So this is the net force which is acting on the object, and which is also equal to mass times acceleration. So I found out the acceleration from there, with what acceleration the car will move in the forward direction. So that is in accordance with the Newton's second law. So hopefully this gave you a brief introduction of the Newton's second law. And now we're going to talk about Newton's third law. This is a very interesting law. So the Newton's third law says every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So I always try to put it in a fun way, that think about, if I'm gonna slap you, what you gonna do? You're gonna slap me back. So that's what's gonna happen. So that's the Newton's third law. So this is an object, let's say, and I'm standing here, and I apply a force of 100 Newton on this one. So what do you think? How much force this box? I have to apply a force of 100 Newton, let's say, to move this box. F net, I'll call it as F net. Rather than calling it as net, I'll call it as an applied force. I'll make it a little easier. So I applied, F applied is equal to 100 Newtons. And then so how much force will be applied by this box back on me? The force applied by this box back on me will also be 100 Newtons. So that is in accordance with the Newton's third law. Now I'll take another example. I'm standing here, I'm applying, this is a box, and then I place another box in front of this. So initially I needed 100 Newton to pull one box, then there is a bigger box in front of this. I need 150 Newtons to move this box individually. So total force I will require will be 250 Newtons. So if I apply 250 Newtons in forward direction, how much force will be applied back on me? The force applied back on me will be 250 Newtons. So this is box A, this is box B. So this was pretty much straightforward, that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Now try and understand how much force box A is applying, or box B is applying back on A, if I wanted to find out. So how much force by B on A, that's what I wanted to find out, let's say. So again, I'm gonna go back to this diagram. If I remove this box from here, and so what's gonna happen, I'll be left with only one box, so box B. And if I start pushing this box, how much force do I need to apply? So this much, 150 Newton. So I have to apply 150 Newtons in forward direction. So the box B will apply how much force back on me? Box B will apply 150 Newtons back on me. So now I'm gonna put these two boxes together, A and B. Oh, I had the diagram already, but we made another diagram, so let's use that one. So A and B. So if I'm applying, now I'm applying 250 Newtons, but 100 Newton is going to move the box A, and then 150 is going to move the box B. So now it means A is applying, I am applying 250, 100 is being distributed to A, and then rest is being distributed to box B. So A is applying how much force on B? A is FA on B will be equal to 150 Newtons, and FB on A will be equal to 150 Newtons in the opposite direction. That's it. This is in the forward direction, that one will be in the opposite direction. So these are the Newton's three laws. Hopefully you had a brief introduction, brief idea about what Newton's law says. Mainly we'll be talking about throughout this semester Newton's second law and then Newton's third law. These are the most important laws, and in these two, even if I have to look for, Newton's second law is the most important. So I'll see you with another video on the Newton's second law. Bye now.